and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to bring you my January and February wrap up. I have about 8 or 9 books that I want to show you guys that I accumulated during the months of January and February. Without further ado, let's just get into this. The first 2 books that I picked up back in January is The Bear and the Nightingale and The Girl in the Tower, which are the first 2 books in the Winter Night series by Catherine Arden. I was super stoked to read this because I am, for this year, doing a few buddy reads with my mother-in-law, and this is one of the series. There is a 3rd one coming out, so it's a trilogy. This is one of the many books that we want to get through this year together. And so, of course, book 1, book 2, I believe book 3 is like The Winter Witch, and I have not picked that one up yet because it just came out like mid-January, the end of January sometime, and I believe it's still in hardcover, and I've only got these in paperback, so I'm gonna have to wait to get The Winter Witch when it's in paperback, which could be 6 months, a year from now. So I may have to borrow my mother-in-law's copy of the 3rd one if I want to get to it right after these. But this is definitely a series I've been really wanting to get into the last 6-8 months or so. I believe this is a Russian folklore kind of spin-off retelling story. It's about a young girl who can see these creatures or demons that are inhabiting the land, that take care of the land, that take care of the homes and the food and the people, but people can't really see them. It's just folklore, it's myths, but this girl, Vasilisa, she can see them. And then lo and behold, a monk comes into town, and he's spreading Christianity and has spread fear into these people, and they are more God-fearing than they are these creature and demon-fearing anymore. And suddenly these creatures and demons start to kind of disappear, and it affects the weather, it affects the season, it affects how things are growing in their land. And so it's kind of a repercussion of how Christianity can kind of take over, I'm guessing. But I'm excited to get into this. We'll see how it goes. The next book that I picked up in the month of January is Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell. This is a mystery adult thriller. It's about a mom. Her youngest of 3 has gone missing, and they've never been able to find her. It spans 10 years later, and she's a divorced woman who divorced several years ago after her daughter went missing. They still have not found her daughter, but some new evidence has arise after 10 years, and within months or weeks of finding this new evidence, suddenly a man that just kind of sweeps her off her feet in this coffee shop brings her to his house one day, and his young daughter is a spitting image of her daughter that went missing 10 years ago. So a lot of unanswered questions start to kind of bubble up to the surface, and things get kind of weird. So I'm excited because this sounds kind of like you don't know who to trust. I mean, that's a thriller for you, but also too a ton of like mystery crime kind of stuff, which I really love. I'm excited to get into this one. The next one that I picked up in the month of January is actually a book that a friend sent to me, and it's called How to Make Shit Happen by Sean Whalen. This is a self-help book, kind of to help those, if you're feeling like you're in a rut or you want to start your own business and you just don't know how to stay motivated and how to get money. It's a whole different premise of, he kind of bases everything on these, he calls it core 4, and you need to work on these core 4 every day. I do follow Sean on YouTube, on Facebook. I have for many years. This just came out about a year ago, I want to say, and my friend gifted it to me because she's actually really good friends with him. I did really like this book. I did read it back in January. If you want to know my thoughts and my opinion and my rating, I will leave that link down below. But other than that, it's just definitely a self-help book on how to work on yourself every day to reconnect with your loved ones, your friends, how to make more money, how to stay more motivated, how to get in better shape, and just how to overall change the way you're thinking so that you don't get into a rut. The next book that I picked up in January is Obtainable by Dr. Warren Willie. Now, Dr. Warren Willie, he is actually a friend of mine. I have known him for 10 years now. He lives about an hour away from me. I used to work for him years and years and years ago as a fitness trainer online for him and his clients. He is a guru of all things bodybuilding, fitness, you name it. His very first book came out like 12 years ago called Better Than Steroids, and it was a book that he kind of based to help bodybuilders realize that you don't need to take ungodly amounts of testosterone and steroids to get big. It's more about just consistency in what type of foods you eat and how you lift. Well, anyway, since then, he has also written multiple books. He sent this to me as a ARC. He wanted me to kind of give him a review, read through it, let me know what I think, kind of a thing. It is a chunker. It's about 400 pages long. This book I really did enjoy, and I will leave a link down below for my Goodreads review if you want to know how I feel about this book. It is a book for those that have either done bodybuilding shows in the day or have been very, very athletic, let's say when they were younger or in their college years. Someone who has already been extremely physical fit and lived and breathed everything to be skinnier and fitter and toner and more musclier, whatever it is. And he goes back and he's saying, it's obtainable, because one of the things that many people have a hard time with once they've been to that specific point in their life and have taken their body to such extremes, it is really hard to keep that body in the shape that you want it to be. And then also too, just trying to find that balance and level, because a lot of times people will bounce back and they've gained more weight than they did. If you're a yo-yo dieter, this is a really good book for you. If you have done bodybuilding shows and you've got extremely lean, this is a book for you. If you were in high school or college and extremely fit and was always doing baseball, basketball, football, gymnastics, whatever it is, this is a book for you. So this is people that have either fallen off the wagon or their hormones are such a wreck because they've gone from one extreme and then given up and kind of, you know, gone the other way, and then trying to get back into that shape. A lot of people say, I'm too old, or my hormones are all a mess, or I'll never be able to get there again. This is telling you it is obtainable, and there is a right way to do it, and there is a healthy way to do it. I really like this. He hits all aspects of everything. I highly recommend picking this up. I will probably do a better review when I do my February wrap up, but for right now, I am hauling this for January because he did give it to me as an ARC. The last book that I picked up in the month of January is actually a birthday present from my mother-in-law. Yes, my birthday was in January, and I didn't get any books. Like, I didn't buy any books for myself. I was so good. But my mother-in-law did buy this one for me, and it is a Barnes & Noble leather-bound edition. She knows I've been collecting them. She's been one of the people that have been helping me collect them over the years. Every time I have a birthday or it's Christmas, she's always giving me a new leather-bound Barnes & Noble edition. And so this one is The Phantom of the Opera and Other Gothic Tales. I'm so excited. I love it. It's so pretty. It's gonna look amazing on my shelf with all my other ones. Okay, for the month of February, I picked up 3 books. A book I picked up in the month of February is A Map of Days by Ransom Riggs. This is a 4th continuation of the Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. I have read the first 3. Gosh, that feels like it was so long ago. So this, of course, is a continuation of what happened after the 3rd book. I'm not giving away anything into this, but now that I'm like talking about it, I may have to reread the first 3 before I jump into this, because it has been a while and I feel like I have forgotten a lot of the important things that have happened in the 3 books. I did like the series. It was pretty good. It's not what you would think by looking at like the front covers of these books. It is definitely not what you think, but if you go into it completely blind, it's a really good series. I do like it. I hope my kids kind of get into it when they get older. But other than that, I'm excited to get in book 4, but I may have to read the first 3 again. I'm excited though. I do like this series. The next book I picked up in February is Winter Stroll by Ellen Hildebrand. So I read the first book in this. When I first read the first book, I didn't know there was actually like it was a series. And I had picked it up back in like November for the whole point of reading some wintry books, Christmassy books for December. And I did enjoy it, but I'm not a big contemporary person, but everyone said, oh my gosh, you need to read the next book. It is such a good series. There's about 4 in this whole entire little wintry Christmas feel, and it goes with this exact same family from the very first book, which was Winter Street. This is book 2, Winter Stroll. I do not have the other 2. I just picked this one up because I found it for really cheap, and I figured, why the hell not? I'll just pick it up probably around Christmas time again this year and kind of enjoy the continuation of this drama-filled, Christmas-filled family contemporary drama. Let's go with it. And the last book that I picked up in the month of February is Sting by Sandra Brown. I read a Sandra Brown book for the first time a few months ago called Mean Streak, and I freaking loved it. It was so good. So I couldn't wait to get my hands on another book of hers and try another one out. And I found this one for super cheap. It was like at the bargain bin in Barnes & Noble, so I instantly picked it up. So Sandra Brown's books are kind of a adult mystery thriller type of books. This one is about a man who, it sounds like he's a hitman, and he is given a mission to kill this particular woman because her brother owes this like mob boss dude like $30 million. So it's kind of a vendetta thing that he is out. And when this hitman sees this young woman, she of course knows what's about to happen, and she just sees what's about to happen. She knows some things about her brother, but you don't know whether, like, was she part of this 30 million or is she just stuck in the crosshairs and she's the innocent one? And then of course the hitman is like chasing her, but the FBI is all involved. So it's like all these cross references, crime, mystery stuff, but keeps you on your toes. And I'm excited to get into this one because the last book that I read from Sandra Brown, it was so, you didn't know who to trust. And it was kind of steamy. There was a lot of like sexual angst, and I was just totally into it. And I have a feeling that this is gonna have all of those feels, and I'm for it. Like, I wish I was reading it this month, to be honest with you, but I already did my TBR. We shall see. Maybe it'll be like a summer read. I feel like the summer is gonna be like, this will be my jam. I'm all for it. All right, there you guys go. That is my January and February book haul. Did I say wrap up in the beginning? Oh God, I hope I didn't. And I totally effed up, and I don't want to redo it. But anyways, that was my January and February book haul. Those are all the books that I accumulated in those months. Thank you so much for joining me. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. If you were interested on how I feel about any of these books when I do come to read them, go check out the link below. I do have my Goodreads link hanging out down there if you would like to check it out. And thank you so much for joining me. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.